Check, hello. Yeah, that's more like it. Hello. Oh, here we go. I forgot. I don't know where's the logo gone? It's really strange. Oh well. Anyway. Ah. I should have used the other laptop. Interesting. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna set it up solo. Yeah. Oh yeah. Where's the chat? Why is the chat down there? Anyway, what is going on with this? Huh, interesting. Anyway, I don't know if anybody's watching or whatever, but hello. So I am currently building the Game Boy live stream, Game Boy machine. As you know, per usual, that is happening. I am working on it, and it's driving me a little bit mad. It's driving me a little bit loopy, and I figured it's building's been quite slow, but I'll just run you through what's going on whilst just after I finish putting these these crimpy bits onto this what is it, wire. I mean, it's a Saturday bloody night as well. It's 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, and I'm still building this stuff, but it's all good. But if anybody's there, please say hello, and I'll get going after I've done this, obviously. But yeah, it was a bit of a last minute plan, but see how it goes. One second, just got to finish these things. I'm just going to click on the thing. But yeah, please anybody say hello if you want. It's up to you, and we'll start going through this stuff in a second. I'm just going to check that it's actually gone through. Has it gone on? Yeah, it's posted. Okay, cool. Anyway, but I'm just going to quickly show you the bane of my life right now. These things, they're driving me mad because, oh, where's the 8s? Oh, one sec, I've got to go and get them from over there. Nope, they're not over there. Bloody hell, where the hell have they gone? This is just everything's gone mad. Everything's exploded everywhere, and it just means that just building stuff is starting to get pretty hard because I need to just reset and get more organised. Where the hell's those ones gone? I swear I got. Sorry, I just got to find my 8-pin. These Molex connectors. This is 10-pin. 10-pin. Where the hell are you? 8-pin, but not the right ones. 6-pin. Oh, I only need 4, so I'm just going to put... Oh, no, I need 8. God damn it. Everything's just... What the hell? There's a 10-pin. One sec. Just going to pull them out of here, and then we can have a cheeky check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Is that 8? Yeah, 8. Right, okay. So yeah, these things. I didn't realise I was going to need so many of these bloody multi-core kind of cables. The thing is, I'm trying to build this Game Boy machine properly. I haven't shown you yet, but the problem with building it properly is it's going to take forever. See, the thing is, like, I tend to build with... take the issues and the problems that come along the way in my stride. But the problem is that ends up in sometimes a rather impractical machine, much like the Furby organ. It was great, but it's just an absolute arse to use because of certain problems that I encountered along the way. But I'm trying to iron out a lot of these with the Game Boy modular, or in the Game Boy machine. So hence why I'm trying to make wires that are removable from both sides, so that I can just completely take it apart if I need to, you know, solve a problem on multiple circuit boards. But anyway, when I've just done this one, I will put it onto the other camera and show you what I've got down here. And just a tickery-doo. What are you eating? What have you got? What are you eating? Because I've just had fish and chips. I was too hungry and I didn't have time to go home and have to make some food, so I had to improvise, go and get some fish and chips. Not the healthiest thing in the world, but come on. I swear everything takes longer when you're talking. Okay. Ah, for God's sake. Oh, nearly. Right, okay, I'm going to flick it over to the other camera. Or maybe a split screen. Here we go. So, yeah, my desk is an absolute mess. Ooh, peanut sauce. Lovely. So, yeah, the desk is an absolute mess. As you can see, this is just, I mean, I guess you can't even see the full extent of the mess, but it's just like everything's gone everywhere. Like, the floor's just covered in crap. And it's all thanks to this project, as this project is just ridiculously annoying. I've just realised that this is upside down as well. So transform, rotate 180 degrees. There we go. It's the right way around now. Okay, so I'm gonna make this one bigger and then make me smaller. Oh, I'm behind me. No, go up. But that's supposed to say that I'm supposed to bring that to front. Ah. Whee! I'm just gonna make me small in the corner. There we go. Okay, so these things, I've built 4 of these so far, and basically what these are the modulators, for the Game Boys. So there's going to be 8 of these overall, 1 per line down of Game Boys, because there's 8 Game Boys in a voice. So each 8 Game Boys, each row of, so each column of 6 Game Boys has one of these, which is a CPU modulator. So every single one of the Game Boys that are matching on each of the polyphonic voices is going to do the same vibrato and stuff, or the same tuning. It has the same tuning. So this module basically takes this, which is the LTC1799 CPU high precision oscillator, which fires out an oscillation that adjusts the crystal speed inside the Game Boy. There's a TLO72, and what's happening is it's just mixing. The TLO72 is mixing signals from CV1, CV2, and also this knob. The other thing about these is if there's nothing plugged into them, all of these are going to be connected to a signal on the bus. So all of them are going to have the same signal that you can turn up how much they're affected by each. So I hope that made sense. I'm not sure whether it does. This flick here turns on this, so you can completely disengage it, and then it's just controlled by the Game Boy's actual built-in CPU clock. But then you can engage it. This is also can be controlled by CV, so you can turn it on and off rapidly if you really want, which might crash the Game Boys. I'm not sure yet. But what I'm doing right now is I've just finished these. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's finally 4. That's what I built today. Well, actually, that's a lie. I built one of them yesterday. I built the other ones today. What I'm going to do is I need to finish the wires. So I've got to build 4 of these, which is going to be a little boring for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to test it out. I'm going to plug these in for the first time and see if it all works. But first, obviously, I need to make these. So I'm sorry if this next 5-10 minutes is a little bit boring, but I'll try and figure some stuff to talk about. But yeah, so I'll go over to the Game Boys when I've finished this as well. But I've just trying to match up all of these so they're all exactly the same. It doesn't need to be color-coded correctly, but as long as the same coloured wires are connected to the same parts of the wire, it should all be correct. So, these bloody Molex collectors drive me mad. But there's no other, I haven't found a better way that's cheap and quick. This seems to be the quickest route of doing it, like, removably, which I sort of want to do it. It seems a bit more proper to me. Oh, come on. Right, there's 1. 1. So this is basically, this is where it gets more complicated. So so each of these you see has 2 connectors. There's the bottom connector, which actually connects to the bus of the power for this module, as well as the extra control voltages which are connected to all of these, so you don't have to wire them all up if you don't want to. So that goes to that bus, but then there's also one on the top which attaches here, and this leaves the back of this synth cabinet and goes down to the Game Boy and the lines of Game Boys below it. So it's going along a bus and then it's going down to the Game Boys. So yeah, it's a little bit complicated, but it seems to be the simplest way of doing things. Like, oh man, you wait until you see the amount of bloody buses I've had to put on the Game Boys. Like, yeah, it kind of opened my eyes to like how big of a project this is. But I'm not going to let it defeat me. So I've just got to keep on kicking away at it. So first I need to make these, but as you can see, it's friggin' boring because they're all just a bit slow because I've got to put every single crimp connector onto them. And there's 8 cores for these wires. I mean, I could have probably used that would have probably been a simpler way of just using, you know, like the Eurorack ribbon cables. But the problem with those is no, they would have probably worked actually. I just don't think they would have worked as nicely on Veriboard because people have already said, like, why aren't you doing this on PCB boards? Well, the reason why is I'm a little bit of a bitch for the aesthetic of things. Like, this is not the most practical way of making music. In fact, it's probably the least practical way of making the sounds that I want to make. However, if you're going to do that, you may as well go all the way. So I'm trying to make this as handcrafted as possible, which is, you're probably thinking that's rather counterproductive, but I prefer the way that Veriboard looks to the way PCB boards look. It makes it look more homemade, if you see what I mean. It looks more homemade. It may take slightly longer, but at the same time, probably doesn't take that much longer. And I can build it there and then. I can make adjustments very quickly and not very messily if I've made a mistake. Like, I just like Veriboard over PCBs for home design projects. But you know, so there we go. There's one side. Let's keep on going. But yeah, there's another thing I've found with this project so far, and I'll explain a little bit. So I'll stop this for a second and show you something. So this is the back of one that I built the other day on the live stream. I think I actually did this on the last live stream. I can't remember whether I actually did the circuitry. That's a dirty nail. But basically, one of the design realizations was on this one was if I designed this for a strip board, if I designed this circuit for a strip board layout, all of the diodes, no matter how I did it, some of them had to be longer than the diode to make it fit. So I ended up opting for this stuff, which isn't actually strip board. It's the other type of prototyping board called I can't remember what it's actually called. Is it Veriboard? No, or is it? I can't remember what it is, but pin to pin maybe. But this I've actually found it a lot quicker to kind of make it up as you go on these things, and it works more easily. Like, it just there's less troubleshooting I've found, because the problem with strip board, which I never really thought about before, is if you make a bridge here, let's say you make a bridge between these, it affects that whole row. That whole row is affected by that slightly tiny little bridge of solder over there. So this completely eliminates that, because none of it's connected together. You're making all the connections, and I found it a little bit quicker. But I think it's a little bit more difficult. I found this stuff, I initially started with this stuff, and I found it really hard when I was a complete beginner, because, I don't know, I could just never make any circuit work on these. But now I know what I'm sort of doing. I sort of know what I'm doing. These are a lot easier, but just something that I found. Anyway, where the hell is that? Where the hell's that thing? I'm gonna unplug my dungaree. Whew. Right, so let's just quickly get this down. I'm only on my second cable. Bloody hell. But if anybody's got any questions, please fire away before we get over to the meat of this video, which is the actual Game Boy machine. But I'm just hoping that some of these findings that I'm talking about right now are of use to you. You might have not thought of these things before. I've just found them. I'm going to do a vlog update after this as well, so I'm sorry if I pound Patreon tonight, but I'm away for a couple of days, so I can't do anything. So just cramming it all in, you know. So oh yeah, another thing is I was initially, these things, I thought they would fry if you added more than 5 volts into the LTC1799 high precision oscillators. So I initially added Zener diodes, and what Zener diodes do is they kind of act as like the top of a dam. So imagine the water, the Zener diode, when the water gets to the top, which is where the Zener diode kind of peaks, it lets the water through. It like pours all the water off, so it stops the dam from getting overloaded and overfilled. So but so a Zener's diode, the purpose would be is to not let the voltage going into here be more than 5 volts. The problem with that is it kind of you'd lose the curve at the top of the 5 volts. But actually, I've actually driven this. I've driven it up to about, I think it was about 13 volts or something before anything broke. So we're fine. So if you think about that when you're doing this, is don't be shy about putting too much voltage in them, because they seem to be quite resilient. Right, let's just, man, why do I need to do, I might actually have enough wires after this one, so this might be my last one. It's the evening, so I've got a beer before I go home. Lovely jubbly, nice concentration. So yeah, yeah, I know those boards. I used to use those boards for every 3 strips quite a lot. I did, and even when I was trying to make those work with this design, I struggled. So, but this is the first design I've ever had a problem like this. It's because every single transistor needs its own resistor and its own diode. So how else are you going to do it unless you cut loads of holes? Or you might, I mean, I don't think I did actually try that the middle. Are we going to call it the middle ground strip board? I don't know. Strip board, middle ground, after hours. I don't know. What is that stuff called? I wish there was names for this stuff. There isn't though. Is there? Oh. Also, in other news, I don't know whether you saw that video that I put up today about the Soviet clock that I got, the rather famous clock. Well, it turns out you can actually sync it up. Like, I just love this. It's so like Soviet era kind of idea. You know, the kind of idea that there's a dedicated radio station to syncing those clocks up in Russia. It blows my mind to think that every hour on this radio station, in between whatever's being talked about or stuff, they fire out a tone that gets all of these Electronica 7 clocks in time. Well, I'd tell a lie. I found out after hearing about this and thinking, wow, that's absolutely crazy. I've never heard anything like that. That just sounds insane. There's a radio station that every hour goes and gets all of the clocks in time. But then I found out that mine didn't actually have the board that did that. But I did a quick bit of reading into it and found out that it's got one or two cable inputs to make plug this like sync board into it. So I figured maybe you could just use an Arduino and hook up the clock to the Wi-Fi time. You know, one of those Wi-Fi, I can't remember what they're called. There's a Wi-Fi board that works with Arduino, I can't remember. But using that and making it to keep the clock in time with the satellite clock. So maybe that might be a project that I might do. Oh, that's interesting about the tripod. Very interesting. Ah! Hey Adam, how are you? Hello, 6-year-old. I didn't catch your name, but hello. How was my show last week? Yeah, it was very fun. It was very fun. Thank you. It was what's the word? Yeah, fun. Like I played. It was one of those gigs that I completely improvised, and I didn't know what I was doing. I said that at the start of the gig, because it's an improvisation and I don't really know what I'm going to do, there's a 50-50 chance that it's going to be my foot. There's a 50-50 chance it's going to be rubbish. So you can leave at any point. But I don't think, I don't know, people might have left. I'm joking. I think it was good. But yeah, it was very fun. Thank you for asking. I haven't actually made my room since then. All of the simps are all over the place and upside down. Oh, I can't do this. This is well confusing. Yeah, if you could see, all of the simps are just everywhere, sitting all over the place. But yeah. Hello, Adelaide. Hello, Adelaide. How you doing? It's a very nice name. Anyway, yeah. This is all a little bit boring. I'm aware, because I'm literally just making a wire at the minute. Oh, like this is I'll show you how many wires I've had to make in the last like couple of balls. That's not even bummer. That's not even gonna work. I've got to watch my language now. Like this is the last wire, and then I'll go to the next one. So yeah, is anybody building anything at the minute? Is anything fun happening? Have you all heard about the OP1, the Teenage Engineering OP1 being discontinued, and the fact that they are all selling right now for about £5,000, which I have a feeling the bubble will pop in the next couple of days. So if you have an OP1 and you don't use it that much, get it on eBay right now. Just get it on eBay, because like, just check. The proof is in the pudding. If you want a quick 5K or something, just put it on there. If I had one, I probably would put it up, but I don't have one. So yeah, if you want to make some silly money for, like, yeah, like that's the same price as a Profit 5. So you could get a Profit 5 if you sold your OP1 right now. Yeah, you going? I know. Right. Oh, good. Volca sample. I don't think I've ever. Is that the white one? Sounds quite interesting. What, have you made a song on it yet? The Volca sample. That's cool, though. God, are you going to put a video up of it? Because I've watched a couple of your videos. It's cool about the paint and the and stuff like that. It's quite interesting. This is just taking forever, these blooming wires. But after this, we'll go to. I'll show you the Gameboys, and then I'll do afterwards. I'm looking forward to getting these wires done and testing it. I'm gonna, after this one, add up how many wires I got and just see if I can actually just get it plugged in. One more thing to sync it up. How has that happened? Oh no. Right, so I just got to match this again. So it goes. Oh no! I somehow, when I wasn't looking, I must have. Oh man, I must have not looked and then done two separate sides of two separate cores. So I've probably got somewhere. Or have I been in a daydream? Have I actually built 4? Oh well, sorry. It's going to take another couple of minutes because, as you can see, that one's. I don't know what happened there. My brain's just going confunct. Let's be quick about this. Let's be quick. Adelaide's watching. We've got to think fast. Oh, is it? Cool. I will check it out. Wait, so for some reason that says you hid you. Oh, that's interesting about the iMac as well. Built into an iMac. So you took an iMac and you turned it into a synthesizer. That sounds very interesting. Please send the link as well. I'll have a gander. I'll have a look. So I'm nearly done with these damn wires. I should have done these wires before I did the live stream. Didn't really think about that. because I was like, oh, I'll build these and then I'll talk about them. But then, now you're just seeing me bloody make wires, which is never fun. Not fun for anybody. I mean, I don't know. If something's boring to do, I guess it's rather boring to look at as well. Who knows? But yeah, please send the link in Patreon message or something. Oh, I keep on dropping these goddamn blooming things. I don't believe it's December already. I swear the last time I looked at my clock, it was like April. Time is just disappearing. It's insane. Whee! Okay, here we go. Right, so what we got? Green. I just got to get the right colours in the right place. And then I'll show you what's been going on. Which I'm probably going to have to get a USB extender for, as I didn't really plan it out. Like, brown. Nearly. Ah! Come on! Brown and then red. And then black. And then purple. And then blue. And finally, we put the grey one in the end. In the end, we put the grey one. Oh, that one's falling out. Got to get this right. So if I twist that round. Ah, come on. Sometimes these Molex connectors just don't want to play. Right, okay. Here we go. So I've got 1, 2. Is that all I built? 2. There's a 10 pin. 1, 2 10 pins. 3 and 4. Okay. So how did I only build? Where's the other one gone? Ah. Oh. Okay, I got 3. Okay. So I can actually plug 3 in now. So that means I'm going to take you over here, and we're going to have a look. Oh. We're going to have a look at what's going on. So I'm going to just change this setup. I'm going to see if I can move this stuff around. When I unplug this really quick, it will disappear. Boom. Right. Okay, I'll plug it back in. Let's go over. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but we'll see. Okay, so no. Oh well. Let's just see how it goes. But okay. It's upside down. It's upside down now. It goes. Yeah. So this is what's going on so far, and I'll talk you through it because why not? Okay, so over here, this thing right here is called the Arduino boy. That's just an Arduino that's plugged in, and there's a MIDI coming from over there, coming from this thing, the BeatStep Pro. Below that is the tested buttons, but I'm not using those at the minute. These are just, so left, right, up and down, so you can get the triggers for the buttons. And here is the Gameboys, the back of the Gameboys. So here's a closer look at what's going on. You can see the transistors. These transistors are made so you can select the all of the buttons at the same time. So if you hit A on the master Game Boy, it will hit A on all of the Game Boys and all that stuff. You'll see there's a wire coming from the cartridge. That's to make sure all of the Game Boys are on the same cartridge ROM as well. Yeah. You'll see there's like an IC chip. That's a relay to turn on these things. So these things, when you hit engage on them, this engage on and off, that turns on the relay over here on all of the Game Boys, and then that lets through the oscillator to control the CPU clock speed and all that stuff. You'll also see, loads of stuff. There was a problem that I had. So if you look at if it gets in tune, if it gets in focus ever. No. Oh, you'll notice there's, if you look closely, no, I'm going to pull it away, pull it out, because there are cut ones. There's a couple of cut wires. Basically, the thing is, I had to snip and make some modifications on this kind of last minute, you'll see this long thin 2-core wire that's got yellow and purple wires in it. This is because when I had the audio connected to the multi-core cable, you could hear the sounds from the Arduino talking to the Game Boy coming through the audio. So annoyingly, I had to make a bus just for audio. So here we go over here, and this is like how ridiculous the busing is getting for all the Game Boys. So I need a bus, I need a separate, completely isolated bus for the music, for the sounds, because if they're even slightly close, because the signal's quite low coming from these Game Boys, if they're even close at all a little bit to any digital signals, you'll hear the digital signals, which is really sad. This next one that looks like there's only two, it looks like there's only 2 wires connected to these, but if you look, the 2 wires are all in different sections, different pins of the board, and this is actually the one for the backlights. So right now, all of them are set to on. All of the backlights are on, but in the future, when I've built it more, this means that I'm going to be able to make the screens light on and off separately, so I can control all of them to make kind of like fancy patterns in time with the music, I guess. Over here, the next bus is the bus for, well, what I was hoping was for everything going between all of the Game Boys in the same row. This board has stuff like, has the Arduino Boy signal, which comes through 2 signals, the Game Boy sync clock as well as the Game Boy data input. It's got voltage plus and voltage minus, and it's also got the 4, has it? It's also got, what has it got? Oh yeah, it's also got the 4 wires that keep the cartridges all in sync, so they're all playing through the same ROMs. Okay, hope that makes sense. This one down here is actually not going to be part of the Game Boy part. This is for the modular power supply stuff. So there's a modular power supply that's powered into this, because this is going to power all of the like analog circuitry, including this stuff, as well as the VCAs and the filters, because this is going to have analog VCAs and filters. So it's getting pretty damn complicated quite quickly, as you can see. The other thing is, so that's buses going along the rows, but the thing is, there also needs to be buses going up, you know, up and down the box. And that's when, if you look here, there is a, right at the top, there is a connector that hasn't got anything plugged into it right now. It's near all the resistors and stuff. Well, that is the input into the bus that goes up, you know, up and down as opposed to along. So it needs a lot of connectivity, and that's what these are going to connect to. So these need to connect to the Game Boys via that cord. So I hope, yeah, and that connects to Game Boys going down into the voices. So it gets pretty complicated. And what that one's got on it is all the button controls for the Game Boys, because you want to control all of the Game Boys in the columns the same. And it's also got the, what else has it got? What has it got? Oh, it's got the CPU clock, of course. It's got the clock for controlling the vibrato and stuff. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire up these and sort of try and get 4 of these Game Boys vibratoing. So we've got here, we've got oh, is it going to load? I finally got over to start using MGB, which is the Arduino Boy MIDI Game Boy ROM that I plan to use for all of it. It's a bit too bright for the camera. It's not going to, it's not the, ooh. If you've used that before, I don't know whether you have, but it just means you can control all 4 different voice parts of the Game Boy. And yeah, we'll, oh, and the other cool thing is, I'll turn this off, I'll turn it on. So watch the, so you can't really see the Nintendo screen go down, but the 2 LEDs are connected to different parts of the cartridge bay, so they tell different parts of the status within the Game Boy. So whether they're thinking about one thing or the other, they flash. Wait for it, like the Nintendo thing is going to come down, boojing, and it does that, and it flashes in different ways. But I thought it was cool to break out some of these digital signal lines to talk a bit more. Anyway, I will get on with what I was saying I was going to do. So I'm going to what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it over to the laptop cam, because I'm not really sure how to do this with the camera and with the live stream kind of. So Let's try this. I mean, I'm only going to be able to plug up 3 now because I got bored and I didn't want to bore you with building another wire. So I'll do it now. Okay. Right, I've just got to find some stuff. Ah, this is the problem with building. Like, this is such a big project. I really need to kind of like take it all apart. I need to take it and put it aside and then actually like clean the hell up because I can't find any of my tools anyway. Oops, shoot. Right, okay, so first plan is I'm going to put all of these. This is tough because I haven't built a box yet, so I can't have these modules on top of the Gameboys, which they are planned to do. So I'm just going to have to put them here, I guess, on the side. Who knows? Oh crud! Ah, put them in the wrong place. These modules, in between all of these modules, are going to be the Game Boy Master Button modules. I'm going to have to plug it in. I'm about to run out of battery. That'll be a shame to lose the signal. Right, I'm just going to just screw them in to the test rig, and we'll get on with it. If that sounds like a plan. Come on. Oh no. Man, unforeseen problems are a pain. I've just realised that I've just built this, so I can't actually... Oh, I can twist it around. So I've put the pots too low. Means I can't actually screw it in right, which is a bummer. Didn't think about that. Oh no. This isn't going to be a super long live stream. I'm probably going to test it, see how it goes, have a bit of a play, and then start. And then I'll probably go and keep on doing the boring wiring. But I just figured it was interesting to show you this point because this is the first time I've even tested these things. So it might be disappointing for you, but we'll see, shall we? Right. Okay, I've got 3 of them. 3 of them plugged up. Okay, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the wires. So 8. Oh, what's the 8 cores? So these 8 core wires are going to plug up to the power, and then there's longer, bigger 10 core wires, and those are going to plug up to the Gameboys. Power. Plug that into here. Have I done it right? I don't know. Oh man, I gotta. Oh, I didn't really think about that. Fair enough. There's a few interesting problems that I've already seen, but hopefully it'll work anyway, regardless of what the situation is. Jesus, so many wires. I'll show you. There's so many. Oh, I'm nearly out of batteries. That's a problem. Let's see if this works. Whether I can reach it. There is just so. Why is it upside down now? There's so many wires. Like, it's starting to get a bit silly. Like, oh, that kind of works. Got to find the right plugs to plug them in. So, this is coming from there. I'm going to plug this bad boy into yellow. Plug that into that. Oh my god. It's just like wire overload. Oh shit. I mean, I didn't swear. Plug that into that. Come on. That's it. I'm just going to double check that's the right flag. Yeah. Find another 10 core. 10 core. Boom. Get that. Coming from down here. Oh no. That one's upside down. That one's a bit of an oversight. And then have that wired up right. Come on. Yeah, bumhead. Whee! And have that going over. Okay. Is it going to reach? Yes. Only just reached. Okay, so technically, this could. Oh, well, these don't even turn on. That's because this isn't plugged in. Oh my god. Please. So I unplug this solder. Oh my god. There's just so much crap here. I've got to really clean up. Oh, we've got lights. Okay, that's good news. Right, I'm going to plug in the Arduino boy. I've got the Arduino boy. And then I'm going to plug in the Big Step Pro. Okay, I'm going to turn off these first. I think, as you can see, I'm gonna have to plug this in. But anyway, let's go over here. Oh yeah, I can plug it in. I can plug you in. 1 second. This room is an absolute state. That's the whole thing about me. Okay. Right. So, oh no, come on, charge your plonker. Okay, so I'm gonna check out this. So this one, that's not good. Okay, I think my Arduino's broke. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so I can't remember which one's the middle one. Oh, ooh. So it is coming through. Okay, that one is being affected. You can't see it. So I'm twisting this knob, and that's affecting that speed. So I'm going to turn this one on, hopefully. Yes. Okay, and then the last one. Oh yeah. I don't know whether you can see that, but they're working now. There's a problem with my Arduino boy, so I'm going to have to work out how to solve that before I can show you, because I've just turned it on and the Gameboy has decided to just start flashing for no apparent reason, and I'm not sure why. Unplug that, press reset maybe. I think it might have just busted. Unplug, turn it on. Hey! I don't know what happened there. Right, okay, so just gonna... Come on. This is getting proper fiddly sound with everything. Okay, so these are all... I'm going to turn these all off. I'm going to plug the audio in. I think it's all... like, I need to press B on all of these because they're not in sync yet. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put you down. I'm going to get the wire. I can just do this now. So plug this into one of the audios. Oh god. Yeah, this is, you can see it's very test phase. Get that, plug that into this amplifier over here. Turn it on. Okay, so technically mutes are all on, off. Technically, if I actually go over here and play this, I'm going to press this. Oh, I'm twisting the contrast. Oh, I did that without thinking. I'm gonna try this one after this. So I'm gonna leave that one. Okay, needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of work, but for some reason, there's a circuit going. Something's going wrong in this one. You can't even bloody see it, but wait for it to catch up with itself. The buttons are going. You can't see, but the buttons are going crazy. The buttons are just making it flick all over the place. So I have a feeling that maybe either this wire is wrong, or there's something wrong with that circuit, which is sad. Blue and grey, yeah, there's something wrong there. And if I unplug it, it's bugger. Oh well, I'm going to have to solve that. But I don't know whether any of that makes sense. So, yeah, the issue is I need to get these to work properly. And the only way I'm going to do that is by sitting down and wondering what the hell I've done wrong. But I hope that makes sense about these CPU modulators. Is all they do is you can choose whether they want to be controlling the modulation or not. I'm not sure. But this wasn't really a super builders live stream, as I already built some of this stuff. I think the next one I'm going to do, I will start from the start again. But the problem with doing the builders live streams on these on the Gameboy thing is I'm never building just one. I'm building like 5 at once. But let me know whether that's still of interest to do that, or maybe I should think about builders live streams as something different. I've got a couple of things that I need to do. Like I need to repair a couple of synthesizers. Maybe I can do those and builders live streams next week. I'm not sure. I managed to get a really cheap sequential Prophet 600. It was like very cheap, and I'm gonna do the Glee mod, which is like an update, and I might do a builders live stream on that, but I'm not sure. But this is just it was just more of a up-to-date video of like sort of what's going on. It's a bit ridiculous, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spend about an hour working this out, and then I'm going to shoot a vlog about it for Patreon, and hopefully it's going to sound quite nice. But we'll see. I'll let you know about it. You'll definitely see a video sometime
in the next, you know, day, in the next few hours about this machine and its processes. I'm going to actually build the wooden boxes for it all in the next week. So then it will start looking like it's supposed to, and I'll start building more of these Game Boy modules. But oh my god, it's just such a bloody big project. So I'm going to iron out these problems, and you'll see me later possibly if you want to. But anyway, is there any questions? Did you have any questions? Yeah, well, I hope it sounds nice because, well, it's going to sound a lot better than that. I can tell you that for a fact. I'll just get on this laptop camera. It's going to sound a lot better than that. I can tell you that very soon. But I'll be around for I'll stick around for 5 minutes. So if anybody's got any questions, just let me know, and then I will probably, you know, then I'll leave and get on with this. So yeah, any questions, fire away. I'm gonna have another quick look at this thing and just see what the hell is the problem. I might just play it for 5 minutes. That's annoying about that button. Oh, it's only when I turn it on. That's interesting. No. Oh, that resets it. That's a bit scary. God, that sounds dreadful. Ah! Yep, it sounds like dog poo right now. That's really annoying. So annoying. Sounds really awful. I've got to sort it out. Oh, God. Right, so I'm just going to turn this on. I'll have just this noise coming out. Why isn't there no... Why is this crashing? Like, it just randomly pulsates when it's off. Yeah, have a go at Game Boys, they're fun. But have fun watching Ralph Breaks the Internet. Sounds like fun. Yeah, it sounds like I've broken things. Yeah, it does sound like, it just sounds ridiculous, this machine right now. It sounds ridiculously stupid. So I'm going to spend another hour on this and I'm going to do a vlog about it. And hopefully it will sound nicer. So let's see. Anyway, I hope that was an interesting short little snippet into the brain head of brain pain that is the Game Boy Mega Machine. I swear this is just down to an obvious mistake. Like, whenever I plug those in, the new ones, the Game Boy, the actual buttons seem to stop working, so there's something wrong. I'm going to work on it. Anyway, peace out. I'll be doing these whenever. I'll do a synth repair next time, because I've got a couple that I need to repair. So yeah, take care. See you later. Peace out. I will, how do I leave this thing? I don't even know. Woo! Oh, no. Where's the stop? I don't even know. If you were a stop, where would you be? Hey, see you later. I've done it.